else on the field to fumble the ball. Let's just call it as it is.
But definitely not in your own red zone.
In your own red zone, it's heightened, isn't it? Because you're almost automatically giving up a score and the momentum, and everything just changes for your team.
Yeah, so the kickoff fumble, now great field position.
Well, let's face it, not a lot left for them to prove in this game, but they're still throwing the football. I guess, of course, CD, you can always get the backups some work. There's new plays to try out. But some people, let's face it, they just want to run the score up.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, CD, he's got great options at wide receiver, tight end, but there he looks to the backfield, and it results in a touchdown.
I love how you laid that out. So many options. You maybe forget about some of the ones that you should be covering. And they made them pay with that one, didn't they? You forget about the guys in the backfield, they're eligible too.
And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Oh, he's going to take this out of the back of the end zone. And that's going to be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over. That return gets all the way to midfield, so we know the field position is absolutely flipped at this point. If I'm the defensive coordinator, I might think about blitzing right now to try and take field position back.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
He's going to have the hook up here to Chase.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to, because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
The risk-reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling. And whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
Up the middle, it's Montgomery. Oh, he's going to take this out of the back of the end zone, and that's going to be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the
There he goes, left side. He's at the 40, the 20, 10. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, where our booth is here, we can see all of the writers to our left, and their post-game stories, Charles, they have been filed for some time, because this game, boy, is it lopsided.
Yeah, we can see our guy Scoop. He's even got his fedora tipped over his face. I think he's taking a nap now. Nothing left to write for him, but how gratifying has it been for them to see what they've done in practice and carry it into a game and see the execution be so good. They've got to feel fantastic about what they've accomplished in this one.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10
at their own 46. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
Over the middle, that's caught by Chase. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
A gain of 14 yards. First down, Cincinnati.
Gun. Cut. Big 13. Big 13.
Burrow will throw.
And he'll go right back to Chase. That's caught again.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, they mentioned this week, Charles, they had a couple kinks on offense that they wanted to fix. I would say they're pretty well fixed.
There's no doubt about that. I mean, just about everything they've run has been successful in this one. And if I'm the defensive coordinator, I'm done with this, right? I have no answers for anything. In fact, I'd probably send a note to the clock operator. Let it run.
And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
57's the mic. Rock 57.
Now Montgomery, he's got it on the draw. Oh, he's going to take this out of the back of the end zone. And that's going to be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does them in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
Here we go.
57's the mic.
Here we go. 180.
That one looks like he'll throw here.
Got a man open. It's Chase.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, Charles, they had the comfortable lead, and now it's even more comfortable. Another score here in the 4th quarter to grow that lead.
But I think your initial reaction is surprise when you see a team piling it on this late in the blowout. But there are plenty of coaches who also think that if you pull up completely and stop trying to play the game, it shows disrespect to their opponent. So they don't want to embarrass them. They continue to let their players go for it.
And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us?
The ball comes out. A big loss on the play. That's the bad news. A consolation. They keep the football.
I don't know about you, but I can hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. If ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Oh, he's going to take this out of the back of the end zone. And that's going to be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does them in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over. At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
On 2.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continue.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. A give to Montgomery out of the gun. Oh, he's going to take this out of the back of the end zone. And that's going to be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
So they take the flag and the yardage that comes with it.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
Burrow's throw taken in here by Chase.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
This has just really been a solid second half from them, CD, as they add another touchdown to the lead and they start to pull away in what was once a close ball game.
Yeah, they actually put the Jets on in this one, didn't they? Put a little cherry on top with that touchdown. Now we just got to play out this final minute, and they'll get a chance to celebrate a very hard-earned victory.
And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football.
Yeah, we saw that one up here, CD. Offensive team, they touched that before it went 10 yards.
Obviously such a fine line, letting it go the required 10 yards, but also getting to it before the hands team can. Just didn't time it out right, and that results in a flag.
Hey, watch the slant. 55, come on, guys, 55. Hey, we're heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields.
Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That one good for 37 yards. Now, defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
They'll run with Montgomery. Oh, he's going to take this out of the back of the end zone. And that's going to be a safety.